Hello, we are here for one more lesson of this T-Flex CAD training course, and the topic for today will be the drawing edition. So basically T-Flex provides two main mechanisms for creating new 2D elements based on existing ones. Before I start to show you how to do this, the first mechanism, let us create a very simple geometry. So just making a couple of lines, construction lines, and then making some graphical lines to use as geometry. And this first mechanism basically also relies on moving, copying, doing arrays, so that we can use the standard transformation commands. We can see these commands under this group here, additional. So we have the ones that act transforming but making copies. So they keep the originals and make copies. On top of this icon, we have the same commands but doing transformation, just picking some elements and changing them so they do not make copies, these options here. And besides, we have two other functions that we can group in this mechanism, which are the arrays, both a linear array and a circular array. So these are very easy to understand. These are very basic commands. So the first one, the translation. And all of these commands work on the same way, on a very similar way. So we have to choose elements. So choosing elements, saying OK. And then we can choose things from these functions, or we can use the information we have under the properties. But this follows a path which, if we know it, simply it's enough to pick things around in our screen working as a standard mode. So I've made the choice of my elements. Now she's asking for a base point, so I can say base point here and target point here. So I've made a translation. Okay, very easy. I could work with this also. I will deselect this guy here, so okay. And if you remember, I'm doing a translation with copy. So I can see several things. So in here, I can change the command I'm using. Okay, I can act with several options. I'm doing a copy, but I have these two buttons here, the copy or the move. And if I say move, I say base point here, change it to here. So everything was moved. So I can change the options of what I'm doing also inside my command. So again, this, select, so move copy, or copy move, sorry. Then I can select a point. By default, I have a free point, a free attachment node, but I can choose from these options here which consider the extent of my choice, and I can select, for example, the center point automatically and doing my copy. So it's another way, very fast, to work with this. What I have more, I have a couple of things to repeat the command and so on, so not very important, but I have this functionality here, very important to understand how to work with these constraints of the copy. So I'm creating by default an associative copy, and this associative copy keeps a relation between the original and the copies. So if I change something, okay, if I change something in my original, I will change also my copies. let's try to change something. I'm not sure if this is related or not. It has some relations now, so I cannot change them, but the idea was to change this. No, not possible. It doesn't matter, okay? The idea is it will create a relation and okay, doesn't matter. The other possibility it is to choose a copy, but a little different, because in fact it will not make a fully associative copy. So I can copy things, okay, but the relations, the system will not create all the entities I had, these nodes and so on. So it's a little different. It will keep this association a little easier, a little not so heavy. Then we can choose the entities and explode the copy, but keeping relations inside the group. So I can copy, okay. I have no connection between the original group and the copy group, but inside the group I will maintain my relations. I'm not sure if it will do something or not. It will not do. I was trying to change easier this thing here, but it's not an issue. For example, okay, it is constrained, no question about it, no problem. Finally, I can select this relation doing simply an exploded copy, and this exploded copy will create the copy, but it will not have any relation between original and copy, and also inside the group it will not have any relation between the elements. So it's the easiest thing to do, and sometimes if we don't want to have this very rigid, so it's the function to choose. So now translation, we've seen rotation always starting with the choice of elements. So center point and just saying 30, and we get a rotation. We can do translation rotation. It will do the same, both of the commands in the same operation, so not very important. Scale, not very important because we've seen them already. So scale a base point, then you give a scale 1.5, and it will make a scale having the point we've chosen as the center point for the scale. And finally, the symmetry. So symmetry and 2 points to make the line of symmetry. So these are all very easy options. Then we go to the arrays. Linear one, so starts choosing the elements. Then we need to choose the method we want to use to create this pattern for the array. Number of copies and step, or these options here, and we must make this choice both for the columns and for the rows. And then if we choose different things, we must give different information around here also. Let's try to create something. I don't like this one, sorry, I like better this one. 3, and copy also 2, and the base point will be around here, and then we can also have a direction around here. So very easy to create. Finally, we have the circular array. It will act also starting choosing elements. And then we also have choices to make according to the information we have. Sorry, make the choice again. So you see, for copies, step 90 degrees in each one of the copies. So you see the preview. We can change this a little, for example, 60. So we have this kind of thing. So very easy to understand. These are all the methods we have as we spoke to show the first mechanism. So this is, I think, easy to understand. The second mechanism is the copy via clipboard, which is something that we can do, I would say, in all Windows applications at this moment, and we have it also in T-Flex. But it's very easy because we choose something, we do these shortcuts we have on the keyboard, the Control-C for copy, Control-C. Then we can say Control-V, and we have it in our mouse, in our pointer. So just doing this, very easy. And if we go and create a new document, if we say Control-V again, we have it again around here. So this is very powerful, very interesting also. The only limitation we have to use this second mechanism via clipboard, it's this copy is a non-associative copy. Okay, so we have this associativity when we are using these commands, if we want, depending on the choices we do. Doing this the same way via clipboard, as you may understand, it's not possible to do it associatively. So, but I think it's okay for a lot of purposes you may encounter in your daily work with T-Flex. So any questions, please contact us. I think these examples were simple enough for your understanding.